What we're going to do is I'd like to just check in with everyone and just, how did all the information sit with you last night? What's some key takeaways?
I left last night with the big takeaway for me was to adopt a learning mindset.
The big piece for me was the piece around the coach is the expert in the process and the client is the expert in the content.
I wanted to agree with Diane. That was the biggest thing. I reflected quite a lot on that, and I just felt like I could trust the process of learning about this process we're going to learn about.
I just love how holistic it is. Often we think change is a cognitive process, but I love how it actually incorporates the emotions, the values, in order to bring someone, into alignment. So
that's what we're going to really focus on moving forward now. This is just, again, we've only done one day out of so many days, and for you all to pick up on that already, what a great start. And on that note, I'll hand it over to Sarah to kick things off.
Journey. So today our focus is all about evolving your understanding of the mindset that we need to adopt. So we're going to kick off with a video, and then what we'll do is we'll come back into the main room. And then what I'm going to ask is for you to move into some breakout rooms to discuss what is a mindset.
To answer that question, we set up a hidden camera experiment to see if this woman would stand up at the sound of this tone, simply because everyone else is. You might be thinking you'd never go along with this. Or would you? After just 3...
Now that we are kind of regrouping in the main room, I'd love to hear just some of your thoughts. So what did you come up with in terms of the question, what is a mindset?
We sort of saw a mindset as a lens, as how you see and what you see.
Just taking that word mind, right? It really is how we think, and then how we think is what shapes our perceptions and how we see our reality, what forms our reality. And when we think of mindset as here, and underneath that is this kind of bowl of all the beliefs that are informing the mindset. So it's a matter of getting below that mindset and digging into those beliefs.
So thank you so much for sharing. Sounds like there were some really rich discussions that were going on there. So it is a way of thinking, a mental inclination or disposition, or a frame of mind. Now, I do have a question for you. How do you think then our mindset impacts us as professional coaches? Okay, how do you think our mindset actually impacts on a coaching conversation?
It takes the pressure off us about being a subject matter expert about anything that we're coaching on. Empowering the thought process of our client is more important than technically our brilliance,
Yeah, bang on. I love that. And it's so true, because depending on our mindset, that will ultimately impact on the way that we coach and then the results that our client get as a result.
Authentic belief about the client's own kind of abilities to be able to get there on their own. And I think
so this is where we're going to move into the next segment of our learning, where Joe's going to take you through some existing coaching mindsets that are available. So you can start to maybe have a think about, maybe that's my default, and how you might be able to update your operating system.
What we're going to do is we're going to look at 4 different professions. And these professions are all part of the industry of advancing human potential. So when we think of a consultant, we think of solution. We can say that the coach is in a solutioning mindset. Come back and share with us what are the 3 possible mindsets that you can derive from that profession. What did you come up with for a trainer?
Teaching. Developing.
Educator.
Yeah. And what I'm going to ask you guys is teaching, in order to create what?
Knowledge.
And also capability, I would put in that too, like, which is
develop and demonstrate new skills.
What about a therapist? What does a therapist do in order to create an outcome?
Diagnosing.
Diagnosing, that's great.
we had fixing.
Fixing, excellent. Healing in order to
improve well-being.
And what about a professional coach?
We came up with gold digger with the purpose of excavating the gold.
Oh, that's great.
We're an excavator.
Inquiring.
Helping them to realize their potential.
We're going to share with you how we see it at CMA or Coach Masters Academy. Ultimately, what we're trying to learn here is to learn the different types of mindsets that are currently available. We have 4 fundamental coaching mindsets that a professional coach can adopt: solutioning, bridging, and resolving. And then the 4th one is a learning mindset to heighten the awareness. Now, I'm not going to explain a lot of it. I'm going to let it land as it is. And over these next months, it's going to become very, very clear. Knowing that difference makes the difference. It's important for your client to know that they're getting a professional coach that gives them a different taste. If your client comes to you and you go through the pros and the cons and the benefits and blah, blah, blah in a solutioning mindset, they might say to you, well, I was at my consultant last week and she did exactly the same thing as you're doing right now. Why would they come to you? We need to realize and appreciate how these 4 coaching mindsets are distinctive. So we're going to listen to the recording now.
Thank you very much, Joe. Yeah, as Joe said, we're going to listen to a conversation. So I want you to pay attention to the coach here. And the question is, what surprises you and what sort of mindset is at work here? And what we're going to do is we're going to come back into our breakout rooms for about 10 minutes and we're going to discuss what you found from this conversation. All right, welcome back, everyone. Let's get each group to share.
We were all incredibly impressed by the coach, and we're all left thinking, "Oh my goodness, how do we get there?" He predominantly was in a learning mindset, but there were these times when he would dip into another mindset for a short period of time, then come out of it again.
But then he was amazing because he kind of picked up on what the client said, and he kind of did that by using a bridging mindset.
Thanks, Rachel, for sharing. Thanks, everyone, for sharing. And just a big takeaway is just the coach's mindset, the mindset that we bring into the conversation is going to influence our client's mindset. And this is a great example of a coach's mindset and the influence it can have on the client. Cool. So thanks, everyone, for sharing. And Joe, I'll hand over to you to finish it up.
So over these 2 days, we're just laying the foundation that you need to make the shift. Solutions are good, but as we said yesterday, it's not useful in the long run, especially solutions without an understanding. That's the foundation for sustainable change. We're going to come back tomorrow and we're going to look at reflective learning, which is an expansion on this learning mindset. So that will complete these 3 parts after tomorrow. So the whole idea of this week is only 2 things, okay? What creates sustainable change and what constitutes professional coaching with a transformational flavor. So we're almost at the end of our time today, and I'd love you all to just not all, but some of you, if you would like to just share what are you appreciating so far, having completed 2 days in our journey.
I'm really loving just how we're diving so deep into one topic, like in terms of like yesterday and today, we've been really focused on that kind of one key area, but really going in it from multiple angles, which is really working for me. So thank you for that. I really appreciate that.
Something I picked up today was, instead of being overwhelmed by the detail, it was more listening for people's approach to what was happening and picking up on some of those keywords.
You all learn differently, and don't hold on too tight to try and get it all and figure it all out. We promise you it will land.
I just again want to acknowledge the communication within the breakout. You know, it's such a powerful thing to be able to articulate our thoughts. So I just really want to honour everyone for, I guess, holding the space for people to share what is on their mind, so that we can start to kind of make our knowing more concrete.
Excellent job today. Really good to hear everyone opening up and just letting it out, not worrying too much about getting it right. The more that you do that, the more that you can actually uncover what's actually underneath us, what's in our subconscious that we can lift up. So very exciting for the next couple of days for this week.
Thank you, everybody. And we will see you tomorrow. Sorry, I've just choked on some water. So we'll see you tomorrow, and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Bye for now.
Thank you.